Hello! We are gonna create today a culvert structure in this river like the one I have here in HEC-RAS map. So for that I will just remove this result layer and I'm gonna start from a previous geometry that I have, and I will right click on it and copy it, go to save geometry as geometry culvert. Okay. So the new geometry will show up is here like geometry culvert, and I can right click on it and edit geometry and go to the connections, and the pencils are right here because I click edit button and I will click from if the water goes in this direction, I want to draw it from the left to the right. So from here to here. And double click to finish. The name will be culvert. The width is going to be 5 and it's going to be a weird culvert. Okay, so I stop here the modifications and I will go to the geometry window to finish the structure. So I can just minimize that, open my geometry data window, and I will open the geometry that I just created. Open geometry data, geometry culvert. And if we zoom it, we zoom in our structure, we see it's not aligned with our cells. So to correct that, I can click on my structure and go to enforce internal connection as break line. This way it is aligned with the cells that I have in my geometry. And for this kind of a structure is very good because it simplifies the computation and is more appropriate. So now I will click on my connection and go to edit connection. And the window doesn't want to appear, but it's here. And this is the profile that I have in my terrain. So what I want to do, and this is from the previous one in Spanish, but what I'm going to do is, in this case, I will draw something that goes from the left side to the right side like this, and we'll have two culverts or three culverts, we'll see, something like this. This way all this is filled up with concrete or whatever it is, and then we have the culverts going through. And why is it important? Because it is important to see where is this point and where is this point. I'm gonna delete everything that is below 7.6. So I will delete all these points, and this way I will create this line. Maybe this is difficult to understand, but just look at this. We go to weird embankment, and we are gonna delete everything that is below 7.6. So I have here 7.6. I'll start taking values from here, drag it until the 7.6. That is here. I delete all these values and I take the rest, and these values are from this side. I'll take the rest, cut, Ctrl X, and I will copy them here. Ctrl V. We see that the width is 5 that we said before, the weird coefficient 1.66. We could change that if we wanted to. And now we click OK. Well, it's not perfectly straight, but it's good enough for the purpose of this. So all now this is filled, and now we are going to create the culvert. So for that we click on the culvert and we put names on it, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put one on the 15 or 18, another one on the 21. So every 3 meters, 24, 27. These are the upstream station and the downstream station. When we create the profile of the 1D connection, it creates a profile upstream and another one downstream. So we are telling it where it starts and when it ends within our structure. I just put the same values, but if it wasn't straight and it goes something that is not perpendicular to our connection, we could change these values. Culvert length is going to be 5, entrance coefficient 0.5. We could click the interrogation button and check more about these values. Money number for concrete, for example, this one. Upstream invert elevation, we are going to put it at 6.3. We can check the elevation here in this profile, and here in 6.2, so it has a little bit of a slope. Diameter 1. We click OK, and this is what I created. Maybe I could create more of those. Yeah, maybe we could put another one, 5 in the 30, and we could just keep on making changes here, or even change the type of culvert that I have. I chose circular, but maybe we want a box or a pipe, arc, an ellipse, and then we change the features, the measurements of this in this one. You can play with this. And then we close this file, save geometry data. We can go straight to our geometry, the plan file, save plan as, and I'm gonna call it 0.5 point culvert. Copy this into the ID as well. Okay, and we are gonna run it for 30 minutes. 30 minutes should be more than enough. File, save plan, good. Okay, hopefully this goes fast. We can actually just look at the results from the previous one that I did in Spanish, but it's the same thing, or are very, very similar. So the results that I got are here, the 0.4 Culvert. And I was a bit disappointed that we could not really see the depth. I want to look at the particle tracking, and we cannot really see the water going through the culvert, but this is because we have cell size that are really big. Maybe if we wanted a bigger degree of detail, I will decrease the cell size in this part, or maybe I could also choose in my break line a smaller cell size. So those are different tools that we have. And finally, it is also interesting to check that in this part, in my plot stage and flow hydrograph, I can see the water that is going through my connection. So I'm just gonna, it's the same simulation, but from the previous one that I did in Spanish, I go to plants and culvert, okay, and I can see in type, 2D connections and culvert. So here I'm seeing the water that goes through my culvert, and in this case we see that the total flow through a culvert is 5.96 cubic meter per second, and the weir flow is 0. That means that the water goes through the culverts, and it doesn't go over the weir. It doesn't overflow this structure. And that's it. I hope you find it useful, and if you have any questions, you can just ask down there. So bye bye, have a nice day.